What new hobbies have you picked up this year and would you recommend them to others? Running a mile every day after getting faded. For some reason, exercise has never independently been able to activate my endorphins, but it works fine after I have some THC in me. It's done wonders. I lost 5 pounds in a week or two and I'm not even overweight. I love running and I love being high. Why have I not thought of this before? Because you were high? Piano. I know some people have already tried, but on my second day of self-teaching, I already knew how to play a song. It is really nice once you get into it. You can literally play memes and make your own songs. It's so fun. Sewing. I lost my grandma this year and she used to sew and knit a lot. I was given her sewing machine, so whenever I use it I feel closer to her. Smiley face. Edit. Thank you so much to everyone for the wishes, advice and awards. It's been a little overwhelming, but I'm so thankful to everyone for all their comments. This year has been so stressful, losing my grandma, doing my final year law exams and cutting out a friend of 10 years, all within the space of 2 months. So all the support means the world to me, heart. I bet she would love you are using her machine. Calligraphy is fun. It improves your handwriting and forgery. Handwriting, oh that's nice. Forgery, now hold on a second. /hol up. I've been lock-picking. It takes sustained mental focus, which has been nice to get the mind off of all that's going in. Plus if the apocalypse comes I'll have a useful skill, which is a bonus. How do you start this? I started with a kit off Amazon, but I'd recommend a set from Sparrows for about the same price. From there you just need some padlocks. Don't use locks that are in use, like your front door and such, or you can mess them up. /lockpicking would be happy to help. Geocaching. You can do it anywhere, all you need is a phone with decent service. We started doing it with my 8-year-old and she loves it. We camp a lot throughout our state, but obviously haven't been able to do touristy things this year. This gives us a way to look for new places without being around a lot of people. Don't tell all the muggles. I started doing yoga and would definitely recommend it. It's good for you. Are you using a website or something? Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube is a great place to start. Can't really call it a hobby, but for the past months since COVID started and classes are suspended, I enrolled myself in free online classes such as photography, editing, art, etc. It's nice to have a little hand of skills and knowledge when the time comes. Where do you take these classes? Google Digital Garage, Canva Design School, Design Tutorial Plus, Udemy, Philanthropy University, Coursera, EEGS, LinkedIn Learning, OpenSape. You just have to find what you're interested in. Gardening and learning to play the guitar. Both are therapeutic. I've been learning guitar also. Even though I suck, the process is fun. Got serious into reading. You really learn many things from books. Any recommendations? It's a really long book for a new reader, but The Stand by Stephen King is perfect for quarantine. It's about a super virus that is accidentally leaked from a military base and kills most of the population. It's really interesting to me to look at the parallels of the response to the disease in the book and the response to COVID in real life. Do not read if you have anxiety about the pandemic. It will freak you out. Not a hobby, but I quit smoking. It feels good. Smile. Wow. Fantastic. How did you do it? Not up, but a major lifestyle change can really help you quit or cut back. Smoking finds its way alongside a surprising amount of other habits. I quit when I moved to a different state and started getting more rest, driving less, and drinking less. Started complimenting men. Few things are cuter than a grown man getting tickled pink because you said his favorite hat looked cool. I'm a woman. I learned from another Reddit post that men don't get compliments, so I decided to change that. It was hard at first because I'm usually shy, but it got gradually easier, and now I just point out things on all people that I think are nice, and it's become as easy as breathing. You're doing God's work. I started keeping fish shortly before COVID hit, and that has been a really good experience. We got into it with a small better tank, but now we have a 75-gallon freshwater tank and a 20-gallon reef tank. It's taught me a little about hydroponics, plumbing, water chemistries, and animal care. Hey, I started right before COVID too. I started with a couple guppies in a 12-gallon log. Now I have a 30-gallon and that 12-gallon still. It's been a really fun hobby, archery. It's a lot of fun and an excellent way to clear your mind. I fully agree with your statement. I absolutely love it. What type of bow is your go-to? I have an old bear compon that a friend gave me. I'm new to archery, but I am hooked. I'm going out to practice right now. Dungeons and Dragons. It's practically therapeutic in nature. It's actually helped me a lot throughout the confinement. I've been playing D&D since 1991, and I'm so jazzed that it's become so popular. Enjoy. Experimenting with cooking. Following a recipe online that you found is also good, but there's just an extra layer of enjoyment and discovery to be had when I try to work things out on my own, especially when ingredients are limited. It's like a puzzle you can eat. The main point to not let not perfect overshadow good enough. You probably aren't gonna be winning any awards with your first few attempts, but that doesn't mean what you created isn't special in its own right. When I try a new recipe, I follow it, then I can figure out ways to make it better. Same. Don't forget to check the comments for corrections or tips too. Sometimes authors overlook things and don't update their recipes. Started learning languages, recommended for sure. I agree, but you have to commit a lot more once you get to the intermediate level, I think. I did Babbel and Duolingo. I blew through Duolingo and Babbel was a bit better, but eventually, you get to the end and you're still not fluent. Now I've been reading books I know well in English in Spanish like Harry Potter, reading the dialogue out loud, and explaining the plot to my dog in Spanish on dog walks. It's been really helpful. I am a big fan of you telling your dog in Spanish about Harry Potter. Both because that is hilarious and adorable, and because teaching others is a great way to solidify your own understanding. I started reading again. Chess is good for passing time. Have you used any resource to learn, or have you just been playing? Check out chess.com, https://chess.com. Lots of ways to learn there. Puzzles, lessons, etc. Also just play and blunder queens until you figure out how to not blunder your queen. 3D printing. It is insane what you can print with a low-budget printer. Mine was $200. You can create your own models pretty easily, and if you are too lazy for that, you can download cool stuff from Thingiverse. Comes in handy too if you forgot to buy someone a gift. 200 smackaroos. What brand/model is it? Best cheap printer to go for is the Creality Ender 3. It's universally accepted as a very good beginner printer, and is about that price. I started watching Bob Ross The Joy of Painting videos. I've followed along to a handful of them, but did it in Photoshop rather than actually paint. His voice is super relaxing and I get into such a state of content and zen. I highly recommend it. It's one of the handful of things that have helped reduce a little of my anxiety this year. I think Bob Ross would have been proud of you taking the initiative to create works of art through such a different medium. Keep on creating, my dude. Smile and best of luck with handling your anxiety. Analog photography. Fun to get a cheap camera and, not really cheap, film. Send to develop and practice exposing photos, or buy some B&W films and develop them by yourself in your basement. Angelic face. I'll just get the kids in my basement to develop them. I mean, I have started doing home exercise a lot more, and I must say that it's totally worth it. I 100% recommend it due to the fact that you get in shape, get a huge amount of confidence, and helps with your mentality about other aspects of your life. I've been trying to work out too, but I can't ever get into it and end up being lazy with them and skipping workouts. Edit, thanks for the advice. Edit 2, thanks again. I'll try everything. I've already lost about 6 kilograms, 13 pounds, so I'll do my best. A-okay hand. I combat skipping days by just doing 15 to 20 minute sessions where I just do 1 to 3 sets of each exercise I wanna do to failure. If I am motivated to work out that day, then I do more. I only do body and free weights. I picked up reading. It's great to read small bits off internet and it sure is improving my vocabulary quite well. I'm not an English speaker. Could have fooled me. Dungeons and Dragons. Being the DM helped me build up a bit more of self-confidence, finally forcing myself to stop being very shy. I found that very hindering at times. Edit, thank you for the award, kind stranger. My wife and I joined a beginner group with a bunch of her co-workers just before we went into self-isolation, and it was the best thing we could have done. We went digital and switched to meeting online and started playing more often since everyone was free. We went 3 weeks with a session almost every night between 3 different campaigns and 2 DMs, and now our players are comfortable enough to really start role-playing. It has really helped us keep in touch with our friends, and now we have a new amazing hobby. Walks. Got a problem, go for a walk. Got a dog, go for a walk. Just ate, go for a walk. Just been shot, walk it off. Walkies. Are you a dog? Bark. I'm dog. I've been collecting rocks and crystals for a while, but I've finally gotten a tumbler and started polishing them. The end results are cool to see, but the process takes a month or more depending on the type of stone, so if you're a deeply impatient person, or a perfectionist, you have very little control over how the stones turn out and there will be flaws. I don't know if I do recommend it. They're minerals. Marie. Started meditating this year. Almost at 100 days in a row. I would recommend. But I would start easy with just 5 minutes in a session and build your way up over time. What does your meditation consist of? There is a really good app called Waking Up. It's made by Sam Harris and the meditation sessions are also guided by him. It's pretty easy to follow along and it's free. If you know nothing about meditation or never done it, this app can be a good starting point. I started meditation at the beginning of this lockdown and would totally recommend doing it whether you use this app or some other resources. Not really a hobby, but I've actually been staying on top of my uni workload instead of doing everything last minute. It has been nice. Yay, I'm gonna have to learn to do that too. I start uni in about a week. It's a game changer, trust me. Crocheting. Edit, I also picked up on Lego architecture sets. I'm currently building Buckingham Palace, but can't find a stud piece. With crocheting, I'm currently making a scarf. Same here. Was frustrating at first, but the end products look cool. And idea where to start with crocheting? I have learned to knit and can now slam out a hat in about 2 hours, but can't crochet anything. Smiley face, crying face.